2026 is shaping up to be the biggest year Zenless Zone Zero could possibly have. New players, reruns, the usual power creep allegations, and a ton of bait banners. If you're starting fresh or even fixing an older account, the question isn't who's strongest right now, it's who will still be valuable 6 months from now. So in this video, I'm breaking down the top 10 agents. Why did I do that? The top 10 agents you absolutely want on your account, or rather must have on your account going into the year 2026. And of course, these agents aren't just for damage, but for versatility, future-proofing, team flexibility, and overall account value. Whether you're free to play or a light spender, this list is about long-term power, not short-term hype. Before we get into the top 10, I want to talk about a few agents who barely missed the cut. These characters are still strong, and in some accounts they absolutely deserve top 10 status, but when looking at overall versatility and future scaling, they fall a little short in comparison to some of these agents that actually have more advantage in new player-friendly situations. First up, we have Orphe, my baby girl. She has excellent niche value, especially in comps that want sustained pressure rather than burst damage. She performs incredibly well when invested, but can feel underwhelming at low investment. The main issue is team dependency. She shines with the right setup, but doesn't carry weaker rosters by herself. In fact, she becomes the carry if the DPS is a little too weak. So ultimately, she's a great pick for experienced players and a slightly more risky pick for brand new accounts. After that, we have Alice, who is, well, I guess also baby girl, but Alice is a high skill ceiling DPS with outstanding performance and a strong scaling. She suffers from the problem that, well, Miyabi exists, meaning it's honestly a clean choice of one over the other. Miyabi has more team versatility across the board, but Alice works by herself regardless of the team. When she works, she really works, but that variance keeps her out of the top 10. She's the type of character that rewards mechanical skill, but doesn't universally solve account problems. Next up, we have Evelyn, which Evelyn's not really a baby girl, more like a dummy mommy, but you know, like we take those, right? Extremely solid main DPS that tackles everything in the game. She has one of the cleanest neutral matchups across the entire board, and a lot of positives too. She offers good synergy with any attack archetype in the game, but lacks the absurd dominance that she used to have on her release. Her biggest strength is flexibility and raw damage, but her impact on an account right now is lower compared to the current MVP agents. But don't let that distract you from the fact that Evelyn is one of the only DPS in the game that still doesn't have a dedicated disk drive or niche support. I wouldn't be surprised if she skyrockets in performance once she gets a dedicated disk drive set. The last one is most recent and kind of snuck up on me. I think Suna is a character that's going to be another Yuzuha, at least in her own way. What I mean by that is she is one of the few characters that has the unique influence for both attack and anomaly agents in the game. Right now, I'm looking at her more of a bridge between teams and the potential she has, but I need more testing before I settle on that. Instead of stressing about that though, these are the agents that actively make your account better just by existing. They either open up new team options, trivialize difficult content, or scale so well that they stay relevant no matter how the meta shifts. First up, I have Ye Shun Wong, and before anyone gets started, this list is not ordered. I quite literally just did not feel like ordering anything because I kind of can't. Let's be honest, this character is stupid. I don't really know how else to say it, bro. She's broken. Ridiculous damage output combined with survivability and extreme ease of use. Low execution requirements for extremely high return. Functions as both a carry and a safety net for weaker accounts who aren't fully prepared for in-game yet. Even if power creep magically happens, her baseline strength is so high, she'll remain relevant for an extremely long time. I'm using extremely a lot because I really need you guys to understand that she is broken. They overtuned the crap out of her. She's literally the definition of pay to win. After that, we have the one that I cape for the most, aka Miyabi. At least that's what the community thinks. Still, one of the most versatile DPS in the entire game. She excels in both single target and multi-target scenarios, has access to some of the strongest free-to-play team comps in the game. She scales ridiculously well with premium teammates, making her viable to players of all spending levels. Her biggest strength is consistency. Her only bad matchups are the ones that the game forced on her, which, to be fair and completely honest, are not a lot compared to all the other enemies in the game. It's basically like 4 or 5 out of 70 something enemies in the game that are a bad matchup for her. And even then, she beats 3 out of those 5. She is a safe, long-term investment that rewards both beginners and veterans. After that, I have something that's a little different, a little new, a little weird, I know, right? Yi Xuan and Yidhari. Now, the reason for this is simply because I believe the results show that if you have Yi Xuan or you have Yidhari, you're pretty much clearing either of their content. Most characters, or rather most enemies that are weak to ether, happen to share a weakness to ice. And if they're not, that means they're not ice resistant, and Yidhari just kind of beats them up anyway. So you kind of can't go wrong with picking one over the other. In layman's terms, if you have Yi Xuan, you don't need Yidhari. And if you have Yidhari, you don't need Yi Xuan. Let's talk about the positives. Yi Xuan has 0 bad matchups across the board. She's either neutral or positive, comfortably sits in the top 3 DPS conversation all the time. She has a high skill ceiling with a moderate skill floor. Perfect for new players wanting to learn the game and for veterans that want to master her. She has incredible versatile investment scaling. Every upgrade feels impactful. And she's a character that grows with your account instead of plateauing. On the flip side, we have Yidhari, who is incredibly powerful, really simple to play, and basically a hammer user from any Monster Hunter game you can think of. And I mean that quite literally. There's a lot to talk about, and there's also not a lot to talk about when it comes to this character, because literally press one button, do damage. That's it. She's incredibly simple to understand and play. I guess like the definition of pick up and play, if you want to think about it that way. She's within a top 7 maybe DPS category. Really just comes down to the fact that so many players have been talking about where Yidhari's placement's actually valued that no one can decide if she's top 5, top 7, top 10, whatever. And she's constantly being pitted against those who share the same element as her. Her damage output is so strong that even if they did start making anti-rupture agents or anti-ice agents, she just beats it up anyway. She really doesn't care. The more rupture support we get, the better she and Yi Xuan become. Coming in at number 4, we have Seed. Ooh, this one was kind of interesting to me. I've been thinking about Seed for a little bit. Mostly, I'm an Orphe kind of guy. Seed was slept on for a long time. A lot of players and content creators alike were very undervaluing, or they undervalued Seed. That's a more appropriate way to say that. Let me tell you about why Seed is a top 10 agent going into 2026. She is one of the most flexible DPS agents available in the game. She works as both a main DPS and a sub DPS, which is rare and extremely valuable, and not a lot of agents are able to do that. And if they can do it, there's conditions. Seed's condition is whether or not you feel like playing her on field or as a burst DPS. That's it. She has a self-buffing kit that also enhances other attack agents. Mind you, this buff she gives is equivalent to what Astra would provide. She has strong free-to-play team accessibility while also excelling in premium setups. Excellent long-term value due to how easily she slots into those different team comps and never really feels out of place on anybody's roster. The fact that a brand new player can pick up Seed and have a main DPS that carries them for the foreseeable future, and then later on decide, you know what, I want Seed to be my sub DPS. I found a new DPS that I want to play who happens to be a new attack agent, and it completely works. There's not an issue whatsoever. This is why I have Seed in the top 10 versus Orphe. After that, we have Vivian and Bernice. Again, same or similar situation to what I did with Yi Xuan and Yidhari. And I know, maybe I could have slapped one of them in the honorable mentions. We could have had 5 honorable mentions, right? But these characters are so synonymous with each other that I feel like it's not fair to say one goes over the other, especially because of the new potential system that Bernice has. But let's talk about it. Bernice is a very free-to-play friendly character with accessible build paths. That means that you can play her one way, this way, that way, or another way. She has a lot of different options depending on the team and how you want to play her. And yes, or someone says the meme, Bernice actually works, especially now with her new potential system. She's going to start ranking amongst the top anomaly agents. M1 perfectly is acceptable, or rather M1 allows you to comfortably play Bernice while also having enough to make up the anomaly damage she needs. That same system rework significantly boosted her performance ceiling. A Bloom and Disorder interactions scale extremely well into late game. High return for relatively low investment with solid rotation consistency, which is ideal for brand new players and newer accounts. Right next to her is Vivian. Similar strengths in anomaly pressure and team synergy. Slightly more explosive anomaly scaling compared to Bernice, which basically means the way she does damage or her combos are more explosive than Bernice's. Bernice's combos are more consistent. They'll follow the same path over and over. Vivian's is more explosive. When an opportunity provides itself, boom, big burst of damage. She's practically a powerhouse in most anomaly compositions and a strong alternative if you missed Bernice or you just prefer her playstyle. Following those two, we have Astra, who is the ultimate generalist support. She can trigger chain attacks on command, which dramatically increases the tempo of the team. She works with literally every single archetype in the game without friction. Permanent uptime with minimal micromanagement, very key thing for a new player. Scales incredibly well with vertical investment. And if you just so happen to want one single support that fits everywhere without thinking too hard, Astra is that answer. Speaking of supports, we have Yuzuha, arguably the best support agent currently in the game. She has the highest interrupt capability, effectively shutting down any enemy defense. And I've talked about this when she first came out because no one else caught it. It's wonderful. Hold basic attack, pop umbrella, block anything in the game, hard parry, and completely shut down all enemy offenses. It's ridiculous. She adds massive value for disorder-based teams and several attack archetypes now. She has the unique ability to adjust team matchups by giving them increased anomaly buildup, something that we really didn't see beforehand, but now over time, she's gotten a lot better at being able to do that, and we see more players utilizing and mixing and matching teams. For those that are a little bit more in tune with Zenless, you probably saw Haramasa and Yuzuha now being his best team comp. I know, right? Crazy. Her Mindscape upgrades are some of the most impactful in the support category. Her utility isn't just about numbers like most other supports either. Hers is about control, which never goes out of style, or rather, you really kind of just don't lose. I don't know if I want to say it that way either. Control is control. Okay, you just, if you control the fight, you control the game, you win. GG's. Yuzuha is one of the safest future-proof picks overall, and if I could order the tier list, she would probably be number 3. Speaking of number 3, we're down to our last 3 in the top 10. Again, not ordered, so these are not like the top 3 you need to pull. Although, if I did have to order it, like I said, it would be Yuzuha as number 3. So I'll reorder at the end of the video because now it's in my head. Let's go ahead and talk about Lucia, the strongest stat stick support in the game, dramatically boosting all rupture-based agents because she's a glorified stat stick. Yay! She has high buff uptime with very low execution demand, excellent vertical investment returns, perfect for players who want noticeable power spikes with minimal complexity.
Jumping Jesus on a pogo stick.
Number 9 is Dial In. I tried to do like the, you know, like your phone. I thought of something that didn't work in my head, so it is what it is. Anyway, Dial In, easily the best stunner in the game. She has on-demand ultimate conversions, which is a huge game changer. Arguably the best dedicated stunner while still contributing strong sub DPS damage for any team. She's extremely simple and has a great intuitive game plan. One of the most powerful M1 upgrades in the game, and she fits into both hyper-aggressive or control-oriented teams. She's a character that lowers difficulty without lowering skill expression, and boy, do I love that. Finally, we get to the last one here, which, to be fair, might be number 1. And this is gonna sound crazy. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I had a long history of not really giving this character that I'm gonna name their shine. I knew they were great. I knew they were powerful. I knew they were awesome, but it was just something about the character where I said, you know what? They're too dependent on their W engine, so I don't see the value over XYZ. But well, I've had a change of tune, and I've been saying that for like the last 6 months. The final character in my top 10 list is Trigger. That's it. She's universally considered the second best stunner in the game, sometimes rivaling Dial In depending on the team and matchup. She works across nearly every single archetype currently available. She's like an Astra of stunners, if you will. Her signature W engine is incredibly strong, but no longer mandatory. She performs well without it and even better with it. She gains value as more teams and characters release over time. She's got an exceptional vertical investment scaling and easily one of the most future-proof stunners due to her universal compatibility. This character is absolutely cracked. And after trigger, that's a wrap. Remember, this list isn't about hype or tier placements and who's better than your favorite agents. It's about who brings the most account value over time. You don't need every single agent here, but if you're planning your pulls for 2026, these are the characters that consistently give you the most return for your resources. If I were going to give you a top 3, like I said earlier, the top 3 that I would tell you would be Trigger, Dylan, and Yuzuha. And if you wanted something else, then go ahead and pick up any one of the Void Hunters and you're perfectly fine with an amazing account. Again, ×2. You don't need all of these characters in order for you to be a successful Zenless player or have a successful account. These are just the most impactful. The meta in Zenless is going to shift. New banners are going to drop and power creep will exist, but versatility, utility, and scalability to a lot of these agents are what keep them relevant. If you build around those principles, your account will stay strong no matter what Zenless throws at us next. Why did I read, guys? I read that line. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I read it and it sounds so like your account will stay strong no matter what Zenless throws at us. Like that. It's so, man, it's just lame. I can't believe I wrote that, bro. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Thank you for watching today's video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. And if you want to engage more, let me know your top 10 that you think a lot of the players should have in the game. I will be making a free-to-play version of this. You'll probably see it. No, probably. You will see it next week or a couple of days after this one. I don't really know how I'm gonna do that, but it'll happen regardless of the fact. I can't say my user outro because it's inappropriate for YouTube. Like the video, comment, subscribe. Smell you later.